What's going on, folks? Painless. Oh gosh, it's you know, day off today. Of course, a national holiday. Um, yeah, right. You see the you see the title. I was sitting here thinking, how 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 can I get this title for this video? So I was watching, and I've been running with this. Usually I'll do something and I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it alone. With the Zoe Williams and Corey Holcomb situation. Why to me it is so hilarious is because I've seen this all my life. I've seen this all my life, especially growing up with a lot of guys. And me, I was usually the youngest one. So there was times that I sat back and watched two older cousins just go at it over nothing. There's an old video on YouTube. You can Google it. Or you can put it in the search box. You can put "fight over ramen noodles." And some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. If you put that in the search box on YouTube, it's a hilarious video. And it reminded me of a situation that I saw two of my older cousins go through. Just in a gist, what you have is a brother or older cousin and a younger cousin or older brother. You can tell the dude is probably maybe about maybe 3 or 4 years older than whoever the other young dude is, and they arguing over ramen noodles. And this ain't a video about all that, but what I took away was, and what I'm giving to you to take away if you happen to go look at that video, is I've seen this all my life. I've seen cousins fight over, I've seen not only family fight over the most menial, nonsensical, irrelevant shit that you can think of. And they going to town. They squabbing their ass off over nothing. So how I came to this thumbsucker babble is because, a lot of us as brothers, as black men, see, me, Painless, I wasn't a thug in the group. I wasn't a trap boy in the group. But nobody could put smut on my name. Nobody could run up on Painless on no disrespect. And it's because of the way I carry myself. The way Painless always, and keep in mind, I served an extensive time, not only growing up with guys, growing up with guys outside the family, my family, because there's a lot of boys in my family, especially on my daddy's side. It's a lot of boys. So I learned to be a stand-up person. I learned to where if something pops off and it has nothing to do with you, you just watch or observe. In many instances, what I've done, sometimes you don't want to see things. So if you see something that's about to go down, you get on up out the way. You get out of the vicinity. You don't even want to see it. It's kind of like if you look at old gangster movies, when someone who's in the life of crime and they have a girlfriend or a wife, that guy who's involved in that criminal activity won't tell that girlfriend or wife what he does. She'll have to come to that conclusion on her own. And he's doing it because if he willingly tells her, there's a way that they can, this is the way the feds are, you know. So you don't divulge information. So that's how I grew up. I learned not to babble growing up. I learned not to gossip growing up. When fools would tell me stuff, and this is what happens when you're dealing with fools, man. And when I mean fool, I mean this people. People would tell you something like, yeah, man, y'all could be homies, or friends, or chums, or buddies, buckos, whatever. Y'all can be in all messing with each other. And you don't even know that this person slighted this person. And within your own little, your own little crew or whatever. Your own section. And and this is not just a black thing. Because I've heard it, other groups. But what can happen is that somebody can come and be like, you know what? Man, Wayne, man. That nigga, blase, he did this. Man, what you think about that, man? He ever done something like that to you? I don't know about Wayne, man. blase. This. And see, now, you can do this one of two ways. Because to me, doing that, see, what they're doing is trying to, it can be advertently or inadvertently. But most times, see, this is why I say Negroes ain't stupid. People ain't stupid. People play dumb. When somebody does that to you, you sweep it off. You just, I don't know, man, nothing to me. Don't go in and be like, man, what happened? Man, so what y'all beefing about? And you can do this with certain dudes because of the relationship. Like people just people spill their guts now. And I had a female tell me this. She said, I don't know why I tell you so much of my business, but I just tell you. And I'm like, okay, all right. I'm not like, give me more. First off, I can give a fuck. Secondly, I don't want to be complicit or know any information that you've given me off a humbug just because you bored and you feel like you can entrust in me in this information. I don't want to know. And it's usually because I don't want to know is because of point number one, I could give a shit. I got my own issues I'm dealing with. I don't care. But some people are so bored. Some people are so absolved and narcissistic that they just got to let you know what's going on. What's this brother, Charleston, the brother from Stop 6? I think he's from Fort Worth or Dallas. I like that brother's message. He lays it down like I would. Some of y'all know Charleston White out of Texas, Dallas or Fort Worth, whatever. It's a difference too. Dallas and Fort Worth is different. You would think they the same. No, Dallas politics and Fort Worth politics is different. Even though they 8 miles away, a hop, skip, and a jump. But it's different politics. Anyway, I like his message. But, I don't want to know stuff like that. And that's what made Painless solid. So to get back on, I wasn't a trap boy. I played sports. Talked to women. But nobody could put smut on my name. And I was a squabbler if I needed to be. Like, I wasn't one of the dudes that you can just, let me fuck with him. No, I wasn't that. But I didn't do that to people. I was just solid. I wasn't, in other words, I wasn't capping, trying to be something that I wasn't. I was myself. So when I came up on this title, I was watching videos about Zoe Williams and Corey Holcomb in the situation, and two brothers did a 3-hour podcast. And I was so dumbfounded at how they were reacting to something so menial of what Corey Holcomb was saying. And see, I've said this before, guys. In terms of women, and what Corey Holcomb was saying, because I guess the co-host is Mexican chick, D or whatever, no problems. But she was saying stuff, and Corey was like, you're a woman. I expect you to say that. I know that's revolutionary to say. I know to you lame single mom raised dudes out here, that's, how dare you say. And see, I've always talked about big mama niggas. These are the type of brothers. Now, back in the day, and I'm gonna get back on what I was talking about, D and and all that. Back in the day, you didn't really talk about somebody's mama, or you get took off on. But okay. But as you get older, you kind of leave that alone. First of all, you should be dealing with people who do that. Like, man, we 39, 38 years old. We still clowning on each other's mamas? So first off, you need to check who you're dealing with to even be involved in a situation like that. To where you bagging and capping and all that. But what he was saying was that the co-host, I believe her name is D, Mexican, Hispanic female. Cool, diversity on the cast, whatever. But I guess she was saying some things. He was saying that, I expect that from you. You're a woman. And then and what they would do is, these two dudes, they would stop it and be like, see, that's what I'm talking about. She hold it down with all these niggas. See, she a female. She a real. And see, like I was saying about these single dudes, these guys that been raised by single mamas. Now, you don't talk about my mama. Nobody do it better than mama. Oh, mama said. And see, this is the problem in the so-called black community. You have too much matriarchy. It's because a lot of you Negroes, see, Painless, I don't play that shit. I do not play the slick woman talk. I'm the woman. I got all these niggas that gonna back me up regardless if I'm right or wrong. And I can say what I want. Nah, I don't fly with that. And I've said this. I said, your biggest brothers that think like me, your biggest opposition is not going to be those women. Your biggest tussle and barriers in the way is going to be simp-ass dudes that come to the aid of these women, regardless of what their position is. Now, I don't like women beaters. But, as I've said before, if I'm rolling down the Ave and I see a dude beating the snot out of a woman, all I'm going to do is I may call the police, but I'm damn sure not pulling over and jumping out in that situation. A lot of brothers do that. And a lot of brothers are DIE because of that. So, I'm listening to these brothers because they would listen to part of that show between Zoe Williams and Corey Holcomb, and they would pause it and be like, "See, right there, I would have told that bitch ass nigga, and I'm like, you into your feelings so much about that. And to me, I'm gonna just say this: Corey Holcomb, he's a product of the old school. He's older than me, but he's a product of that old school. Get it off your chest. Woman, know your place. All that passive aggressive bullshit, that's not fitting around here. And what Zoe Williams should have known is you can't be jumping up and try to protect every woman just because she's a woman. Sometimes that woman then put herself in a position to where she needed to get shooken up. You're going to get slapped up if you put your hands on a dude that don't respect that and don't deal with that. And I have no qualms with that. I told you about the story. I jumped up on my cousin. They're married now, beautiful family. But I got at her husband at that time. We were like 14, 15. I would never do that now. Because look, all that bowing up I did, it was, look where she at now. Married to him. And I mean, that's old news. He's a great dude, good brother. Beautiful family. But what I'm saying is that what you do, all that taking up for women just because she's a woman, she gonna go back to him anyway. And that's what you gotta learn. A lot of brothers out here are so feminine acting because they're raised by women. They're not taught to build forms of real relationships with men. And it's just the type of dude that just hang around, that just pillow talk with women. Excuse me. You got dudes that just pillow talk with women. And I've said this, and I'm going to say this. Look, brother, I'm going to tell you this. Brothers, I'm going to say this. Look, if she's not having sex with you, but she's just talking to you, you're just a girlfriend with a penis. That's what you is. But a lot of dudes are willing to deal with that in hopes of getting butter biscuits or to get to get a little cut for being a good boy. But that don't work. You always gonna be left out. You ain't gonna be respected. That Mexican chick on the 5150 show, she respect Corey Holcomb, or she wouldn't still be there. She don't respect no dude like Zoe Williams. When you stand on yours and you be like, look, you take it for how it is. Yeah, she may be talking all that shit on the set, but she respect that. Women don't respect a Dudley Do-Right ass motherfucker in terms of relationship. Oh, baby, I want to go to Cheddar's. You know what, baby? You're right. I've been thinking about Cheddar's all week. Let's go to Cheddar's. Instead of saying, nah, we going to Papa Do's. I want it. Well, you better find something on the damn menu that you like. So, a lot of, with that being said, a lot of men don't understand that. So, they come in cape, starched, creased down to save the day. And that's that thumbsucker shit. That's that thumbsucker shit. When you can see it now in the so-called black community. You see little, I know when I was coming, you see little with thumb in them out, walking around, babying them all the time. And this is why a lot of black women try to reinvent. See, I'm going to say this. Guys like myself, Painless, that are already successful, established, definitely doesn't need a woman to do the things that I do. In other words, I don't need additional income from a woman. I don't need any women's resources to do the things that I do. All right? See, women like me in the so-called black community, either we're gay, just like they hunted down, just like how they attacked Kevin Samuels. Just because a brother dresses nice, just because a brother is articulate and can say what he wants and what he doesn't want, because lo and behold, a black man has standards. See, us as black men, we're not allowed to have standards. These are the same types of women that if they see you down the aisle of Walmart or Target, they won't pay you I don't have this issue. But they won't pay you, they won't give you a second look. But you come in there the next day with that same black woman, and you got you a white woman on it. Oh, she looking you up and down, and what you doing with her? Oh God, shit! I was. Not only was I in here yesterday, I have the same outfit on, so I know it's me. So that's where we at, folks. So guys like me, I'm looked at as competition, or like I said, either I'm homosexual or I just don't like sisters or whatever else. So black women have been trained to like the underdogs in our society because of that, poor John. So me, I don't need work. I live in the South, and one of the first things these black women talking about is, well, do you go to church? I'm like, I do, but I haven't been. And then, it lead with this, and I can already see where it's going. I'm 10 miles down the road, she's still at the start line. So, they love what they love. This is who y'all choose. No pun intended. Y'all love it. I told you I don't want successful brothers. Y'all want someone you can control. You love to say, hey, if you don't do this, well, you got to get out. See, you can't do that to Painless. I would never live with a woman that I don't plan on marrying in 6 months or to a year. Never. Never, ever. You can't kick me out of nowhere. Nowhere. So this thumb-sucking epidemic, this baby boy Peter Pan syndrome epidemic, was highlighted on Corey Holcomb and Zoe Williams. And as I said last night, it's demonstrated. And to say those things, to be blunt, see, to be blunt is revolutionary. To state the obvious is to be revolutionary nowadays. That's what it is, folks. Where it was common. That's what people need. That's how you constructive criticism. You think people couldn't take constructive criticism back in the 90s or the early 2000s? These people really can't take constructive criticism now. Oh, that's shaming. Oh, that's bullying. Oh, you're being insensitive. And now that shit is trickling down into the so-called black community. When I had two busters critiquing that video that are just sounding so effeminate. Like, I'm listening, Corey. I'm listening. There's nothing wrong with what he's saying. And then using the same talking point. Oh, you're fat. You fat fuck. You must be a homosexual. I'm like, like, who does that? It's like, who calls people ugly nowadays? Even if you are, but like, who does that? Like, you just don't mess with them. But you know, that's all I got to say. About to wind down, make some more. I may make another video tonight. Who knows? I'm just kicking back, cooling, watching some content. And that's it. Painless out.